Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm continuing now my series on H.G. Wells, reading everything I can get my hands on by H.G. Wells in order of publication from the very beginning. Now, I've done a lot of H.G. Wells, and I won't be redoing the ones I've already done. I haven't done videos for everything I've read, so I've gone back to do videos to cover all the stuff I've already read. And the next one in line, number 7, is called Zoological Retrogression. It was published in September of 1891 in Gentleman's Magazine, and it's a nonfiction essay piece. He excelled at talking about his ideas about science, and he did so through his entire writing career, all the way to the end. I think his nonfiction actually outnumbers his fiction, but I might be wrong about that. But he did get his start mostly writing nonfiction essays for magazines like Gentleman's Magazine or his school magazine and things like this before he really started writing a lot of fiction. And this particular essay I got a hold of by finding a copy of the early writings of H.G. Wells. It's a book from 1975, nice hardcover. I wasn't able to get it with a dust jacket on. This is an ex-library book. So it's a little hard to get a hold of, but this has zoological retrogression in it. And it's a really interesting essay and worth looking for, especially if you're a fan of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Because just like the title states, it's about how creatures, and mind you, H.G. Wells was working closely with some of the most important people in early evolutionary ideas. So he believed in so he, was convinced evolution was true. And he was involved in thinking about evolution. And this essay thinks about evolution. And the whole point of this essay hinges on the fact that most people, including most scientists, and this is even true today, when thinking about evolution, think of it as a progression, never-ending progression, getting to higher and higher forms of life, more complex forms of life, more intelligent forms of life, more capable forms of life. But Wells states, and he backs it up with a lot of cases that he mentions in his essay, where we can see in biological communities where species have either stopped at a very, what we would consider a very early stage of evolution, or in some cases they have actually gone what we would call backwards. And that sometimes environmental necessity would force a species to lose characteristics that have been developed through evolution, now needs to lose those characteristics in order to better survive under new conditions. And the reason this essay is interesting to me is because that's basically what Wells talks about in The Time Machine. That's basically what he demonstrates when he goes to 801 702 AD and finds that the human race is split in two, and neither one of them seems to be as advanced as we are today, or people in Edwardian England were. Or I think that was actually Victorian England yet when Time Machine came out. So this essay gives a really cool glimpse into the developing ideas of H.G. Wells that would lead him to what could be his greatest work ever, The Time Machine. And that's why I think that anybody who loves H.G. Wells or who loves The Time Machine would be interested in reading this essay. It's really good and really does give you some background into how Wells developed his ideas for that novel. Have you read Zoological Retrogression? What do you think? Leave your comments and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come on back for more H.G. Wells and all the other authors I'm talking about. If you're specifically interested in Wells, my next one will be another essay from this book titled Ancient Experiments in Cooperation, and this one was published in 1892. So come on back. I'm going to be here doing them.